Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of Bones of the Story. Today, we are talking about one of my favorite genres, the monster genre, which I'm super excited to have this conversation with the wonderful and amazing Jen. I think you should start us off, Jen, on what you define as monster genres, or do you want me to?
I mean, I can. You've certainly got the more extensive portfolio.
I'm just curious on how other people. So, as always, we didn't really do any prep work for this. We're just shooting the shit. But I did Google a couple of things, and I don't agree with what they say monster romance is, so that's why I'm curious.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I mean, for me, I would say monster romance is, I mean, honestly, like any romance book that has a monster. So,
So
like, we're gonna fight about this, aren't we?
we probably are going to fight about this, yes, which is why I'm very excited.
What? what? Like right now, I'm reading Bride by Allie Hazelwood, which is so good, by the way. I started it yesterday morning and I'm at like 60%.
Oh, nice.
It's so good. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a vampire and a werewolf, which I know is like your least favorite thing ever. But I don't know that you would count it as a monster romance because even though they are vampire and werewolf, like they stay in their human form. Well, the vampires, like, they don't do any shifting. So the vampire's just chilling, looking like a human. And then the werewolf, is in human form 90% of the time. So I don't know if I would consider it a monster romance. Like when I think of monster romance, I think of The Dragon's Bride. I think of Ensnared. I think of A Soul to Keep. Like those are really the monster romances that come to mind when I think of them. But I think the argument could be said that, this type of book would be considered a monster romance too. So, that said, what do you got?
Well, now I'm really sad because I don't feel like we're going to argue. I feel like we're on the same path.
Darn.
So that was my biggest thing is they're like, oh, vampires is a monster romance. And I'm like, no, because monster to me means that they do not have a human form. Like if you have a human form, like a shapeshifter, or I mean, because now we're talking about like characteristics and traits and like eating habits for like a vampire, right? Like a vampire
Right.
is or was a human, now they're dead. That doesn't necessarily make them a monster because now they drink blood, right? Like I
Mm.
think there has to be more to it than that. And to me, monster is non-human. So I'm trying to think. Oh my God, with all the monster romances I read, I can't even think of a single one.
Flirting with Monsters, even though that series was not great.
Oh my God, that was not good at all. But yeah, like, so I would definitely say that, and I think that there's like, this is maybe not a line or a toggle or like a sub, but like, I think there's a difference between paranormal, supernatural, and monster. While they can be combined or fall under the same. So I would consider vampires and shapeshifters that have a
Supernatural.
human, supernatural, paranormal. We can argue the difference
Okay.
between supernatural and paranormal later, but that is where they fall, anything that
Yeah.
has like a haunting or, witchcraft or fey magic, paranormal, supernatural. That's where that falls. Now, can a monster romance like be under that? Absolutely, because you can have a witch who falls in love with, a tree god, but they look like a tree and they don't have a human form. So.
I cannot believe that exists. And I read 50 pages of it.
Wait, which one?
I can't even remember what it was. A tree, and I couldn't. There was just no way.
I
I
was
can't even remember.
totally just making that scenario.
Nope, it exists. It 100% exists. Hold on,
I'm
let me
I'm
see.
I'm psychic. I need to go play the lottery now. And then we can really fund this podcast, right?
Right. Well, I guess because I DNF'd it, it doesn't show up on my red for.
I thought on Storygraph there was a tab for that if you marked it.
I have not updated my story graph in a
Oh.
hot minute. Hmm. Daggone it. Now I'm not gonna know what it was.
Well,
And that's just annoying.
do you think a quick Google search? So what did I say? I said a tree, God falls in love with a witch.
I don't think she's actually a witch, but it was a tree
She's a human.
erotica about a tree and
Oh,
a
are you talking about that sentient?
yes,
Oh,
the
absolutely
morning
not.
the morning wood tree.
No, I draw the line at sentient objects. I have a high threshold for reading a lot of things, even tropes and kings that I don't like, but I am not reading about a door, a pillow, maybe the tree. Maybe.
No,
I don't
do
know.
not want to read about the
No.
tree.
Okay.
I can't. I can't. I just no. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I can't. There's absolutely I mean, if you read it and told me to read it, I would read it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to read it myself.
Yeah, don't do it.
The only one that I would actually that I'm curious about is the balloon animal one. There's
No,
That's the only one that's piqued my interest,
no. I
but
can't.
I still wouldn't read it. I just can't. I can't do that. This is gonna sound really crazy. I cannot do bunny
Bunny
shapeshifters.
Shifters.
I
I knew
just
you were
can
gonna say
I
bunny.
just cannot take a bunny shapeshifter serious. I apologize for any other out there who has bunny shapeshifters, but that is not sexy to me, and I do not want to read them. I can do some birds. I think it depends on the bird. You know, like a hawk or a raven or eagle, like that's fine. And I don't do
Yeah, like a
dinosaurs.
hummingbird or a chicken.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do a chicken. And I can't do dinosaurs. I
Like,
just
like, isn't it like a dinosaur shifter?
I don't know. There's dinosaur erotica out there. I think they are like dinosaurs. I don't think they shift into humans, and I'm like, I just can't do that.
Can't. Yeah.
I I
Okay.
I can't. If you tell me to read it, Jen, I will read it, but I'm not
Wait.
going out of my I just can't. Those are my lines. And I know they're really random and weird, especially the bunny one, but like I'll handle a centaur even though sometimes I don't understand what's happening. Like I read a centaur, like that's fine. I do my
Yeah.
aliens. I do aliens that look like aliens. I do aliens that look like humans. Aliens are like my guilty pleasure read. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, I just love it. Obviously, shapeshifters, vampires is hit or miss. But yeah, okay. Anyways, now that Misty's done her little rant about her thresh level, do you have a thresh level, Jen? Is there just some things besides sentient objects that you won't read?
I don't want to read any sentient objects. I'll stick. I mean, monsters is about as out there as I can get. Monsters and aliens, because I thoroughly enjoyed Ice Planet Barbarians, and there were
Mhm.
aspects of Ensnared that I really liked. Yeah, I think. Trying to think like where, yeah, sentient objects. No thanks. I don't think I really have any other threshold as far as what I'm willing to read yet. Obviously, I think we've decided. I mean, as far as like monster romance goes,
Yeah. Well, that's good.
yeah.
Well, now that we're not debating and arguing, let me point out some of the things that I thought we were going to debate about. The
Okay,
aspect
and maybe
of
people will.
maybe you will. The aspect that the Phantom of the Opera is a monster romance.
What?
Yeah. Now take it with the
Phantom of the Opera?
I don't really I mean the source was okay, but like I think it's one of the articles that I sent you. Yeah, they were
Where'd you
like,
send
"Oh,
it to me?
I put it in the chat here in Riverside."
Oh, sorry.
No, no, you're fine. One of them was like Phantom of the Opera, and I'm like, "No." And then they were like Twilight, and I'm like, "Well, we've already established that they have to be non-human,
Yeah,
majority of the time, if not all the time."
yeah.
And just yeah, I don't like that's not to say that what you shift into cannot be classified as a monster, you know, like werewolves or dragons or whatever, but I just don't. If you have a humanoid, I don't
I
know
mean,
what to
I
call it.
agree with you, but I do think there would be an argument to say that it still counts as a monster romance, even if it is that they have two forms. Because I mean, they're still a monster, like they're still a quote unquote monster. But I agree with you that if it's more a shifter, then
Mhm.
shifter is separate from monster.
Yeah. But and then the other one, which I thought was really interesting, it was talking about, you know, besides like mythology and stuff, like what is our introduction, our first introduction to monster and its Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so there's that question. I don't know if you've ever seen it online about, so
Oh,
do you
yes.
prefer the beast as the beast or as a human? And it's obviously the beast is the right answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can collectively agree that the Beast was more ruggedly handsome than Adam. Like, whatever they did, whoever made Adam fucked
Wait,
it.
that's his name?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
I never knew his name. I don't think they say it once.
No, they don't say it in
Oh, okay.
the movie at all. I would be willing to bet, like, 50, $100 that that's his name.
Really? Now I gotta Google this.
Hmm.
What is Beast's name? Huh. The Beast's name is not Adam. That's right.
What?
Contrary to popular belief, this is from Loot Crate.
Is
He
that?
does not have a name throughout the entire film. Is Beast or Master?
Well, that explains
We're giggling schoolgirls.
a
I
lot.
love it. I wonder if he has a name in the short story, the French story. Let's see. What is the
I
beast's
don't know. I
name
could have
in
sworn
the
it was Adam from something.
original French story? Beauty and the Beast is a fairy tale written by French novelist. Yes, we know that. I'm not even going to try and say her name. In 1740. Oh my gosh, that's when it was written. Yes, but what is his name?
I don't know. We can stick with Master. It's cool with me.
It
This explains so much.
does, right? Let's see. The merchant is upset once upon arrival. The beast. I'm thinking I might have to read this. I don't ever think I've read the original story
Yeah, I know I haven't.
of Beauty and the Beast. Okay. Well, so we, for our sakes and the sakes of, and the,
Give her a second, ladies and gentlemen. She'll get there.
yeah, for the purpose of our podcast, there we go. We're going to define monster romance as non human.
Yep,
Yes. And
agreed.
then I think we should have the caveat, maybe, maybe not, I'll let you decide, of whether or not if they have intimate relations with their human side versus their monster side. Could that be a caveat of if they never have sex in their monster form? Is that considered? Or no? Should we not even worry about that? It should just be human or non-human.
Yeah, I would say human or non-human.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Although I really thought that we were going to argue. I was like, yes, this is going to be a good debate. Jen's going to be vampires and werewolves are monsters. I'm going to be like, no, they're not. You're going to be like, yes, they are. And
I
then,
mean, I think the argument could be done, but I
yes,
agree.
it's our show, but we can do whatever we want for us. Monster romance. Okay. I don't have anything else. I'm quite excited about all the things that we have lined up to read this season,
Yes, me
especially now
too.
that we
Just
have the new darkness scale.
yes, agreed.
Anything else we should touch on? I liked that. That was simple.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Favorite romance, monster romance you've read so far? Let's just share that real quick. I don't think we have our favorites on the list.
Favorite monster romance
Or
I don't.
I can do a caveat. Or what are you most looking forward to reading? Should we give them a teaser?
Yeah, we can edge the audience. That's fine.
I love you so much, Jen. So much.
Okay, let's see.
You want me to go
Pulling it up.
first?
Yeah, you go first.
I am really curious and excited about the Minotaur that we're going to be reading.
We're reading about a minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Uninteresting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that'll be interesting. I would say my favorite currently is The Dragon's Bride.
Okay. I'm excited to read that. I love that cover so much.
I'm trying to think, like, I feel like I haven't really read enough to be a good, like, to be able to pick one, but Of the few that I've read, I would say that one's my favorite. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. I'm excited. All right. I just
Me
wanted
too.
to throw that in there.
Okay. Let us know what you think defines a monster romance. Is it vampires and werewolves? Do they count? Or is it a being that does not have a humanoid form? We would love to know. Check us out on Instagram at Bones of the Story.
Thank you for joining us on the journey into the shadows of love, where dark romance stories come to light.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bones of the Story as much as we did. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback means the world to us.
And to stay updated on all things dark romance, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, or even your own dark romance stories with us. Drop us a line at bonesofthestory@gmail.com.
Remember, our next tantalizing episode is just around the corner, so keep your hearts open and your senses sharp.
Until then, embrace the darkness and let the stories continue to stir your deepest desires.
This is Misty
And Jen,
signing off
from Bones of the Story.